Countdown. We're live. Welcome to another edition of the Willie Bragg Show, where I like to discuss politics. And today, I did a video on the recent criticism against Kyle Kulinski by Sabby Sabs, and I did it because what she had to say was relevant, even though I agree with some of it and disagree with some of it. Same will be the case for Zach and Gavin, who are the co-hosts of the Vaguard. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play their take on the decline of Kyle Kulinski's program, or the temporary setback, shall I say. And I will share my views afterwards. But let me start off by introducing introducing this concept when it comes to the online left, because it was relevant when I said it in the first video, still relevant. So here we go with part 2, saying what needs to be said. The online left, we're all the children of Bernie Sanders from 2016 and 2020. No ifs, ands, or buts. We are the children of Bernie Sanders, whether we like it or not. So I just wanted to just let you know about that right there. And we shall start with the video from the Vanguard.
When we come at this segment, I just want to say we're not coming at this from a place of animosity or malice. We don't have a dog in this fight, but it's one of those uncomfortable topics that here at the Vanguard has.
I am so sorry. Let me set up the video. Hold on. I apologize. Bad Willie.
When we come at this segment, I just want to say we're not coming at this from a place of animosity or malice. We don't have a dog in this fight, but it's one of those uncomfortable topics that here at the Vanguard as news media people, and particularly what we like to call the watchdogs of new media. This is a story that I think we have to cover because it's, it's a good way of analyzing people's news habits, and also just a really good way to, what's a good way to piss off your audience is to try and shove something that you haven't really built into your model down their throats for the obvious reason that, somebody's channel isn't necessarily doing that great anymore. As you guys may have been paying attention to, the Breaking Points channel has been posting some secular talk clips on their main show. I'll share my screen right now so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I'm sure you're familiar with this if you are subscribed to Breaking Points on YouTube. So here you can see this is a clip, Liberal Brainworms. Bill Maher calls Trump Putin's boyfriend, the Kyle Kulinski show. And as you can see here, they have this little pre-recorded intro.
Hey guys, Kyle Kulinski is letting us post some of the clips from his channel that we think you guys will really love in the Breaking Points community on our channel.
Yep, let's get to it. So Bill Maher.
Sagar seems so enthused about this.
I know, right? That's the first thing. Obviously, Sagar doesn't exactly seem particularly thrilled about the notion, but who knows? I mean, that's just, who knows? Maybe he doesn't care at all. Who knows? But the funny thing is that if you scroll down a little bit, it's basically comment after comment of people expressing their dissent, and this isn't the first time this has happened. This has also happened on pretty much all the other videos that have been posted to the Breaking Points channel that are just straight up secular talk videos. And I'll remind you guys that this is a video that was already posted on Kyle's channel too. This isn't a Breaking Points exclusive video. This is basically just a double dip. They're repeating the upload. Kyle already uploaded this onto his channel. It got views, etc. And now they are putting it on the Breaking Points channel as well. So let's look at some of these comments. This one says Marshall gets the likes, Kyle gets the comments. Game Poop says Crystal is breaking Kyle's point. That's funny. Giving us Kyle Kulinski clips really diminishes the quality of this channel. So that's a pretty serious pretty serious comment. It got 56 upvotes. Todd says, is it because Kyle is your boyfriend, Crystal? And that is a little bit unfair in my opinion, because Kyle's been a regular on Rising and then Breaking Points even before he was dating Crystal Ball. So I think they've always just been kind of a good match politically, and that's why they platform him on the channel. So I don't know if it has anything to do with the romantic relationship necessarily, but this is a prevailing sentiment as well among the audience. We'll see some more examples of that in a second. Again, here's another example of that Breaking Points turns to act like mainstream media hiring their families. So again, that has 32 upvotes, pretty damning. This says, I love Breaking Points, but this was just replaying someone else's channel with no value added by Breaking Points, a channel that was just commenting on content from yet another channel. While Brooks' comment was objectively true and indeed corroborated by sources, Kulinski just espoused his opinion based on nothing more than his opinion. At least he was right to call out the bad NATO misspelling. I'm a fan of the show, but copy-paste journalism isn't up to your standards.
Yeah, leave that to the Vanguard, guys. You're getting in our niche.
Exactly. Let's keep going, though, because if you can believe it, it doesn't stop there. This says, Kyle's the kind of guy that reads all of MSN's talking points and propaganda, then tries to formulate nuances derived from false narratives and corporate propaganda in an attempt to show you he knows what he's talking about. However, he consistently gets it wrong, and that has 56 upvotes. So, again, that's pretty brutal if I do say so myself. And yet another one. If I wanted to hear Kyle be smug, condescending, and speculative, I would watch his channel. Hang in there, Sagar. And this is another repeated theme I see, is that a lot of people in this comment section, they kind of seem to be here for Sagar. It seems like they're tolerating Crystal or they like Crystal, but they're really here for Sagar. And that's kind of why they're annoyed by some of Kyle's takes and what they describe as condescending, smug, liberal takes, stuff like that, et cetera, et cetera. But again, it does not stop. Sagar feeling like a third wheel since Kyle has moved in on Breaking Points. I will say that one's a little bit unfair too, because it's not like Kyle's in the actual Breaking Points videos for the most part. Mostly it's just Crystal and Sagar on a day-to-day basis. That's what the majority of their clips feature. And then it's just every once in a while, or maybe once a week or so, that they drop Kyle in there. So again, pretty harsh stuff, but I guess that's how people are feeling. This one has 164 upvotes. Crystal, stop pushing Kyle, 73 upvotes. We can go on if you guys want. Kyle's doing the Tim Pool of Breaking Points. The smugness is just dripping. Again, we can go on and on. Here's one that says, I love Kyle. I love Breaking Points, but am I the only one that feels this cross promo stuff is unnecessary? Just leads to redundancy in the feed. And actually, this one probably I agree with the most, because I also like Kyle Kulinski. Obviously, I don't agree with everything he says. He's not above criticism, that's for sure. But I will say that I don't mind Kyle, and I like when he's actually on the panel. What I do think is unnecessary is just posting pre-existing secular talk clips on the Breaking Points channel, because I already watched this Kyle clip. When I clicked on this on the Breaking Points channel, I got about a minute in before I realized, oh wait, I've already seen this video. I watched it on Secular Talk's channel a few days ago. So yeah, I agree that it is redundant, as this comment pointed out. But what's your take on all this, Zach? Do you think this is kind of unfair, or do you think that they have a point here?
No, I'm actually going to be less soft on Kyle than you just were by a bit, by a big margin, actually. Like, I think that some people here are definitely falling on the Sagar kind of the side of the equation. So I could see that you would be a little irked by this. But if we're being honest and transparent, you don't see a lot of Crystal haters come out when you see Marshall Kosloff pop up. And I feel like that's probably the counterbalance that they've agreed on. It's like, yes, you have the KKF podcast, I have the Realignment podcast. So, you want to put your boyfriend Kyle on our show. I guess that's fair. I'm going to put my homeboy on the podcast, and then we're going to fucking, even it out. That's fine. I mean, it's their fucking show. They can do whatever they want. Let's say that. The first way to trigger me and Gavin is when the chat tries to tell us how to do our show. So, if this ever does make it to Crystal and Kyle, I wouldn't be pissed off if they were, unhappy with our coverage. That's their right to. But yeah, look, you're hurting your brand straight up. Like, if we want the tough love, Crystal, you're hurting your brand because you like Kyle and you see him failing and you think that he has good points to make, but he refuses to evolve. He refuses to do things that are necessary to stay relevant. He refuses to engage with his audience. He wants it to be 2012 still, where you can monologue the same goddamn point every single day and still get 200,000 views on your video. It's never going to happen. He's basically, look, he basically does what Gavin and I do at this point, which is but pretends to be really high and mighty about it. He reacts to videos that other people pretend, but somehow we're leeches on the bottom of the internet that are not producing any value, and we're actually really destructive to this super awesome new media movement that he was a part of that was super serious when he was just dunking on people who had religion. But now that it's people dunking on him, he has a problem about it. And not to get on my fucking hill about how these upper echelon level content creators, they love to shit on people who talk about them while they talk about the mainstream media. They have the exact same way of describing new media as mainstream, or the new media as MSNBC describes them. They don't take it seriously very much. They think that it's just bottom feeding. Yeah, well, Kyle built his whole career reacting to MSNBC and Fox News clips. I think it's a little hypocritical for him to get his panties in a wad when people react to his clips and give their take on his news coverage when at one point he had a massive following. I mean, Gavin and I can show you the video if you guys don't believe us, because you might not. But a couple years back at Politicon, he had the longest fucking line there. It was massively long. And you know what happened? His views got stale, guys. He stopped evolving. He started simping, and he just couldn't. He couldn't cut the mustard anymore. People were going to go to Crystal and Sagar for their serious kind of news, and people were going to go to Jimmy Dore / Sam Cedar for their, more incendiary, like whatever, like I'm in my niche kind of news. And then, the bottom feeders like us take out the rest. Like, you know what I mean? It is what it is. So to take your homies like failing channel, right? Because I mean, guys. Like, I mean, to the standards that Kyle has, like, again, I call us bottom feeders because we don't have standards. Like, we're happy to do this for a living. Kyle is bitching up a storm regularly about how his channel is failing, because he doesn't quite make that country club money anymore. I imagine he wants to spend his days golfing at his country club, doing his videos when he likes to, how he likes to. And the reality is that's just not going to be a formula for success anymore. We'll speak up for him when he gets fucked. Like, I thought it was bullshit. He got banned from Twitter for, like, posting a boomer gif. Literally a boomer gif. That was a fucking video clip from the 80s scanners. I'm almost positive that's what it was from. Anyway, this is all, it's just all a very bad move. Clearly Breaking Points is growing. That's not going to devastate them to keep, shuffling Kyle along and paying him some money probably to put his clips on their channel to try and blow him up. I think he's still in that delusional phase where he thinks that this is the algorithm sucking him down, when in reality it's like the algorithm is sucking Crystal and Sagar down. They're just relevant enough and lively enough, and people care about their fucking opinions enough right now to beat that algorithm, right? Again, I'm not standing on a fucking high horse. Kyle's channel is infinitely bigger than ours. I personally wouldn't be bitching about my relevance if I was Kyle at the size of Kyle's channel, but I'm just telling you why he's not able to crack into that like upper echelon. Like, he wants to be, as relevant as Hassan Piker. He wants to be as relevant as Crystal and Sagar and Jim
Vosh.
And Vosh. Yeah. Vosh spanks Kyle now, guys. Like, straight up spanks him. Okay, Destiny spanks Kyle now. All these people that Kyle came up with, he didn't get on the live stream bandwagon, guys. He refused to fucking go live, engage with the chat, build a community, be honest with people, rifle out the riffraff. He didn't want to do that work. He saw that Crystal and Sagar didn't have to do that work. They did it a different way. They made up basically an MSNBC style show, work independently. That's fine. That's a completely different ball game that they're in. They're doing completely different things than the new media guys did, which is fine. And I think it diversifies us in our space, and it's all worthwhile. But I don't know. I think he really missed the boat when he didn't get on live streaming, but, I'm rambling.
I actually totally agree with that point. I think that Kyle...
Okay. Okay. I'm back. I need to stop saying that when the video's ending. With regard to the breaking points, I do think it's a little silly to play an actual Kyle Kulinski video all the way through on the show Breaking Points, because a lot of the people who are subscribed to Breaking Points, especially if they lean toward the crystal ball direction politically, are likely subscribers to the Kyle Kulinski show. So there's that, and so it is kind of redundant to that in regard to that format. So there is that there. Let's see. Zac basically said that he needs to evolve, and that it's not 2012 anymore, and it isn't. I mean, it seems like I discovered Kyle Kulinski probably around 2014 myself. I was already watching the Young Turks, and I started to get familiar with Jimmy Dore, and I've been watching The Amazing Atheist for years. So, and discovered David Pakman too while I was at it. So that was around the time period I started discovering these programs and got pretty much attached to these programs that are basically the cornerstone or the bedrock, so to speak, of the online left today as we know it. So I agree with Zac, and and Kyle complains too much about the attacks by YouTube, even though it is the case, as I said in my previous video. I mean, good Lord, if I had 973,000 subscribers, I mean, I could not see myself complaining. I mean, I don't think I'll ever get beyond 10,000, to tell you the truth. But here's the thing. I mean, I find it rewarding. It's kind of a hobby right now. I hope to get a little bit more traction and all of that. But as far as I don't think I think he's justified to complain about the algorithm discrimination and the fact that they go after all these content makers to make an example out of. And I mentioned that in my last video. And Gavin was correct when he said that the Bernie Sanders era is over. Something that I have to reconcile with. And I'm an old fart. I'm 53 years old, and I've been a follower of Bernie Sanders since I first heard of the man in 1990. So that tells you my radicalism came to me fairly early. And in a lot of ways, I haven't changed politically since then. So it's kind of neat that I'm not like alone anymore politically. I mean, I even remember when I was on the college campus early 1990s. I mean, people say college is liberal, left-wing, radical, what have you. Where I went, it wasn't really, honestly. I mean, it was lukewarm liberal at best. But as far as Gavin went on to say about the live streaming and the interacting with the audience, he needs to adapt. I do the live stream myself, and I like to talk to my audience, and so like in a few minutes, I'm going to be corresponding with my audience. Sometimes my channel's so small. Sometimes I'll do a video and I'm talking to myself, and I know there's nobody else listening on the other side. That's about 50% of the time when I'm actually doing the video commentary. And so I have a busy chat line right now. My previous video, the chat line was fairly busy too. So, but I think he needs to adapt. I think he needs to go on Spotify and do the thing with Apple and everything. Because I listen to his program sometimes on the internet, on the Blogspot radio, and the technology is very 2010. You can't rewind it. You have to listen to it all the way through, and it's just, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, we're all creatures of habits, and I think that he's comfortable doing the model he's doing. His business model seems to be working. I don't think he's in the poorhouse or anything like that, and I do think he should be richly rewarded for the good work he's done over the years. But anyhow, trying to do something about the algorithms that you get new subscribers is a task in itself. But I will say, and I would say I'm very proud. Last week that I had a new subscriber, and he's a fairly well known. Yeah, he's a well known figure on the online left, and I was like really happy to find out that Michael Figueredo from the Humanist Report is, I guess you could say, he's officially a friend of the show, because he's on Twitch, and so I chatted with him last week, and I think that Kyle Kulinski could take a cue from Michael Figueredo. Go on Twitch and talk with people. As I said, it's richly just you'd be surprised. How many, how when you interact with your audience and all of that, it keeps you relevant. And Kyle needs to do what it takes to keep himself relevant. I mean, he's going to be around for a long time. Kyle's not going anywhere, in my opinion. But he just needs to adapt, and easier said than done. And hey, I could learn how to adapt myself, but my channel's just a hobby at this point. So who knows what will happen in 2 years, if there will be a channel or if I'll be a hell of a lot bigger. Yeah, I mean, who's to say? Or am I just going to keep doing this and I'll just have a couple of hundred subscribers? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? But the thing about it is, you know, with, yeah, he doesn't, I mean, when he's going to places like Bosch to try to be relevant, just remember that Bosch was shit talking against Crystal Ball and Kyle Kulinski over the years, and they kind of guilt tripped them into liking them and becoming friends. And you know, just I don't know. I mean, I got some issues with Bosch. I agree with Bosch most of the time, but sometimes Bosch will say some things that I'll be like, really? So, but I don't agree with, there's not a person on the online left that I would say I agree like 100% with. I don't even agree with 100% of myself sometimes. So if that tells you anything. So anyway, I'm going to cut this chat kind of short, this video, because it's I'm tired as hell. So, but I want to say good morning to Hot Retarded Chicks. Great seeing you again. Let's see. I responded hi there. Ben L said comments too hot to handle. Goddamn. Let's see. Now that's naughty, Hot Retarded Chicks. Although, you know, I'm a Shoe on Head fan myself. So there you have it. Let's see. Has Crystal evolved? About the same, you know. Let's see. Hold on here. Let's see. Hot Retarded Chicks. Then they were made for each other. Laughing out loud. And a purple heart. There you go. Anyway, if y'all like what you heard, press like and comment. If you disagree, comment anyway. We'll have a conversation. Feel free to share the content on this channel. As a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you to create your own platform and utilize it, because we are, in fact, the muckrakers of our time. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. And I got to get some sleep soon. So until next time, we have a class struggle to wage. And remember, we're all Julian Assange.
Bye.